Hey guys, I got a whole package full of love from the Norseman lockpicker in Norway. Postman brought it yesterday, couldn't wait, opened it up last night in front of the TV, and didn't do me a lot of good. I do have all the keys, and they are all here wrapped up in this, mummified, but it doesn't matter. We don't need no stinking keys. What we do need are locks though, and these locks look very familiar to me. I think I sent Norseman lockpicker a whole box full of US made stuff that he couldn't get in Norway. Here's a couple of quick sets, but it looks like he's done a little work on the keyway on this one. I don't have any idea what's up inside of there, but it's not a standard quick set, I can promise you that. Otherwise he wouldn't have called them challenge locks and wrapped all the keys up. Schlag, I have a whole box of brand new Schlags. I believe this was one of them, but they were standard, all standard pins, no fun at all. And these last three are all Sergeants. Again, very familiar locks. I think I sent these to him, different, there's Asa Abloy, but again, I'm sure, matter of fact, he warned me that there's a lot of misery in the box that was coming. He did send me some Asa pins, some spools and serrateds, and I just got a bad feeling that some of those are also in these locks. He's probably repinned them all with some real nastiness. Alright, we got to do the obligatory picking. I'm not going to pick a quick set because then you guys are going to say, oh yeah, Bill picked a quick set, big deal. Well, these, I'm sure, are not standard quick sets, but I don't want to get a bad rep, so I'm not going to go with those. I'm also not so stupid as to pick up one of these Sergeants, because if he did use Asa pins, and then these are manufactured with a lot of precision, there's a lot of misery in these three locks. This is going to take a long time, and I'm doomed to failure. And that really only leaves me one choice, and that's one of the Schlags that I sent him. It's still going to be pretty good precision, but not nearly as tight as these, so at least I have a chance here. Not going to be perhaps as easy as the quick sets, but maybe we can get into it. So let's move this out of the way here. And I do have the key as I showed you, but it's wrapped up. Can't do any good to look at it. And let's see, I'm going to try to use one of these, top of the keyway. If we get a fat one in there, yeah. And I'm going to use a 15 thousandths pick with a little bit of rise because I'm going to play it from the side of the warding and then eventually probably have to go from the bottom if he's got some weirdness in there. But initially I'm just going to start from the side because it's more direct contact with the pins. So I'm going to pick it counterclockwise so I can kind of keep my finger out of your way a little bit. So here we go. This feels like pin 3. Got a click out of him. Four, little click. 5 and 6 are springy. I'm on pin 2 and I'm getting some counter rotation. See if we can get on him again there. I'm on 1. Okay, I had counter rotation on 1. So 1 is a spool. A little crunching going on there, pin 4. Using really light tension. If he put Asa pins in here, it's like picking serrated. And since that's what he has available in Norway, I'm sure that's what he's got in here. Counter rotation on 2. Got a little good fault set going there. Got a little bit more fault set when I touched pin 2. Counter rotation on 1. Okay, we lost our false set, but we set pin 1. Just means we got him out of sequence, that's all. I'm on pin 3 again. Okay, we got him. Who else did we drop? Okay, we got our false set back. Got a good false set going now. I'm going to go from the bottom of the keyway. It works with a 15 thousandths pin, but it drags along the side. But sometimes if you have a deep set pin, that's what you got to do to get at it. Okay, back to the side. Didn't seem to help me. Very light tension on this thing, since it probably does have some serrated. So it feels like a mixture of serrated in the back and spools in the front. At the back, they're not clicking. So I probably have overset one of them, or maybe more than one. Pin 2, he was a spool, so 1, 2, and 3 feel like spools, but now we've lost our false set again. Got it back. Alright, so I must have skipped by 1 because he was behind the tension wrench there. Just missed him. Happens all the time. And there we go. Alright, fellas, this is not an off-the-shelf schlag, I can tell you that. But we are going to find out what's inside of it. I'm try to pick it without unwrapping the key, but if we lose our pick, then we're going to have to figure out which one of those we need. But in the meantime, let's not admit failure until it actually occurs. Okay, I'm going to need a flips, and I happen to have one. Okay, I need a medium. That looks right. Okay, so it's going to come out like so, hopefully. Alright, let's see what kind of evil he's put inside of here. So far, nothing. All 3 standards, 4 standards, 5 standards. These are all standard pins, nothing about it, nothing to it. Even the core itself, I don't see any threading, no countermilling, no twisting and turning, no grooves on the side, no side pins, no side bars, no security whatsoever. So it all must be up inside of here. Alright, let's see what we got here. There we go. I knew he had an acid. That's spool. I knew he had one in there somewhere. There's another one. Whoops. There's another one. Get that spring out. That was really under a lot of tension there. Okay, we have a standard spool. We have another spool. No, we don't. we have a T-pin, and I know why he did that, and I will explain that in a minute, why he had that master wafer in there. And there's another one with another master wafer. Alright, and that's it. Nothing else unusual about the core. So here's what we're looking at, fellas. And let me show you how he had these arranged. That was there, that was there. And I'm sure that was installed backwards. Where did that spring go? And I'll show you why he did that. Okay, so here's what we're looking at, fellas. We're looking at 3 of these ASA spools, a normal standard, looks like a Schlage spool, and then we have some T-pins, also from Schlage. Normally your T-pins are installed like this, and then it does not have a master wafer, and the reason it's large on the end is so that the tip of it doesn't go down inside of your spring. If you're really nasty and you happen to be from Norway and you sit up there in a ice-covered country all the time with nothing else to do, you come up with some really evil stuff. So what you do, you put a wafer in first, and then you put your T-pin in upside down, and that prevents the tip of that from going inside of there, and this gives you a really nasty break. You're going to get a fault set right when it clears the edge of that, but you still have to work your way through all of that. That's why I thought those were serrated in the back. That's kind of how they were playing out. The other thing I'm looking at here, these T-pins don't look exactly the same. Looks like he modified this one. I don't know if he was experimenting or what, but whatever. It's a nasty, nasty lock. Norseman Lockpicker, you ought to be sent to jail. But I'm sure if they sent you to jail, I'm sure you'd pick your way out. So anyway, thank you, sir, for all the locks. I will get around to picking the rest of these sooner or later when I have a little bit of free time, which doesn't seem to be happening very often lately. Anyway, thanks for the lock, sir. I appreciate it, and it's amazing to me how you can take a standard run-of-the-mill lock and just by adding some high-security pins, turn it into such a powerhouse of security. And if all of them would do that, fellas, we'd all be needle pointing or something else for our hobby. Anyway, everybody else, stay safe, and for goodness sake, stay legal.